Well, you can use GPT to come up with the metrics, but or basically you can use GPT to format you the bullet point and then fill it in with the real metric that you drove, right? In the best case scenario, you keep track of all these metrics and you figure it out. I mean, and you have a list of them. But if you don't, then you kind of have to make them up. And pretty much, if they ask you in an interview, they're gonna be like, "How do you generate this metric?" Just say how you would have generated, how you would have um, got that metric. So for example, if they say if you said that you helped improve an API service and made it response time 30% better, and you came up with the number 30%, and you just literally made it up, and they asked about it in an interview, you could be like, okay, our API servers, we use Datadog to track load times, and then pretty much the way I was able to track that it actually reduced 30% is by checking the Datadog and pretty much seeing that it reduced 30%, and we have like a historical graph, and yeah, that's kind of how I was able to track that it reduced 30%. Like you literally just made up the number, but you were able to back it up. If you just say I just said 30% and you literally have no idea about how to monitor that, then they'll know you're making it up. But if you like reverse engineer it, figure out like how you can even figure out that metric, then just say that in the interview. That makes sense. Like all of these, you could figure out. Yeah, all of these you can figure it out. You no, like use numbers wherever you can, and when they ask you in an interview, just say how you got that number. Say you use Datadog to get that number. If you improve the accuracy of a machine learning model, say that they did testing after to see the percentage or like the accuracy of it or something. Like a lot of things that you could actually track. You know what I mean? Like maybe you didn't track it at that time, but as long as you could say how you can track that metric, then they're gonna believe you. I mean, literally for most companies, you're gonna have to. It's hard to measure code refactors though. Yeah, I mean, mostly. Well, what can you say? Yeah, you might not have a metric for it, but okay. First off, if you're gonna talk about a code refactor, you should probably talk about why you did that refactor. What was the result that you driven? Maybe you refactored the code because there was like 10 there was 10 files and they're all duplicated logic. So you can make a metric for that. You can say I reduced 10 duplicated files into one by refactoring the code base and building like a template design pattern in order to reduce code duplication. So the metric is you took 10 duplicated files and turned it into one, improved the pattern that those files were using, and that like helped reduce bugs because now we're not duplicating through 10 different files, right? So I think you need to figure out why you did that refactor and then like quantify like how much did you actually refactor? Did you like take a thing that was like 10 files and turn it into one? You know what I mean? Let me know if that makes sense. Drop a ack on the drop a ack on the chat. Yeah, and I would just use more action words here, honestly. Action words like developed, implemented. Yeah, cool. Um, yeah, more results oriented. push your accomplishments at the start. It should be like we should like your accomplishments should be at the start of every bullet points. So if I read your resume from top to bottom and I decide to only read half of each bullet point, in my head I still know all the things you accomplished. I might not know exactly how you did it, but I'll know all the things you accomplished. Oh, refactored our code base to reduce 10 to 1. Yeah. um, like reduce latencies by 30%, improve accuracy on an ML model by 30%. Like all of your accomplishments should be left aligned on the bullet points. So if I just read it from top to bottom, I just start seeing it, because not every like most people will just skim each bullet point, maybe even halfway. Honestly, like no one will gonna read this bullet point. As soon as they get over here, they're gonna stop reading the bullet point. I don't know if that's me, but I think that's just human nature. At some point, like they're gonna lose focus halfway through a bullet point, especially if it's long. So yeah, good job on your resume. I really like the format. We could probably improve some of the bolding and some of the like italicization or whatever, like making it do that. No, your resume is good. I like your resume. Your resume probably better formatted than mine. Okay, how's that for advice? Just put a thumbs up, and I'm gonna clock out if that's good. If you have more questions, just ask it right now. I'll wait for a bit. Got you, bro. Got you, bro. You got any other questions? All right. Just catch me on the next stream. I'll probably be on some maybe tomorrow. We'll see how it all goes. Markel, catch you. Alpha, thanks as always. Good luck on your Stripe interview. Um, okay, yeah, I'm Canadian working in a US job. How's the TN process? TN process is pretty easy. As long as the company wants you, TN process is you just go to the border and get it. It's pretty easy. But yeah, I'll catch you all in the next stream.